Thank you. You saved me. Am I dead? Am I going to heaven? What's going on? Where am I? Is this supposed to be heaven? Why does this girl? I think there's been a terrible mistake. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake. This channel is called Jake of All Trades, and today LoveBites came out with a new live video for Rising, and I haven't heard that particular song yet. So in classic Jake of All Trades fashion, I'm going to be doing the official music video as well as the recently released live video for Rising for LoveBites. And before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to everybody who suggested this song. The first one here is Chad the Dragon Lord, Evil Volts, Hamish Alexander, Heavy Metal is the Law, Nightwish, Rainer Zufall 42, and Scoob 64. So thank you guys for suggesting this. I'm sorry if I messed up any of your names, but without any further ado, let's get started on the music video. All right, here we go. Rising, official music video. Here we go. Ooh. Beautiful scenery. Punches you right in the ears to get started. Their guitars are awesome. They're not treble picking there. This is really tame for them. Okay, now we're starting to pick it up a little. Some of these harmonies with that are awesome. That scenery just gives it such an epicness. Nice delay effect on some of these vocals too. Haruna's double bass too is just driving that. I think on a major there. Oh. It's got like epic adventure vibes right now. I was expecting that to go into a solo. This is not going the direction I thought. Here we go. I love that guitar. Oh my God. Are they unison soloing? There's the harmony. Oh, that was so good. Such positive lyrics, too. Just half expecting a key change there. Never hear it end on a major chord, you know? At least the chorus, anyway. Gosh, I wonder where that is. Oh, that was bassy at the end there. Nice. Alrighty, time for the live version from Memorial for Our Warrior Souls. I don't know why it was so hard for me to say that just now. Anyway, let's get going. It'd be so epic to see them live. Do a little flip. Somebody's like, are you not entertained? Ooh. I'm hearing Miyako doing some interesting stuff over here. The Dory is awesome. This is really fascinating with the live version. It's more separated out, the guitars are. The way that she's able to flip that while she's playing is just, oh my god. This is the part where Miyako goes to the piano. Ooh. One, two, three, one. Oh, they changed time signatures. Miyako just seems to transition from piano to guitar and back so seamlessly. The way they hand off back and forth. It looks like she's having the most fun. Even though I heard this already, I was still expecting a key change. Got it. She's like, come on, guys, that wasn't enough. Alrighty, so I did do a second listen through of each version of the song so that I can take some notes and go over what things I noticed in the track and differences, inconsistencies between the two different tracks. So it's not in any particular order here. I was just kind of taking notes as I thought of it. So first thing I noticed is when they're doing their harmonies and solos in the studio music video version, it's a lot more blended, like they're panned more center, because I was kind of doing like a little bit of isolation thing where it's like, oh, I can still hear both guitars in the studio version, but then if you did that with the live version, you'd only hear one of them while they're doing their harmonies, as well as the rhythm section too. They had a consistent rhythm guitar going throughout the whole studio version, whereas in the live version, it's isolated on one side or isolated on the other side, and then when they're doing their harmony solo thing, that cuts out completely because you don't have a third guitarist, but that's just how live goes. Anyway, one of the advantages to being able to hear them more isolated, panned hard right for Miyako, panned hard left for Midori. It might be reverse on the screen. I'm just doing it from my perspective.
Strike that. Reverse it.
I can hear their guitars a little bit more clearly that way, because one thing I missed in the studio version was Miyako's cleans during the verse, whereas in the live version I can hear that much more clearly because it's isolated in this ear, whereas Midori is doing the chugging rhythm section in my left ear. So that was a nice way to be able to kind of perceive those different things between the two different versions. Then I love the guitar that Midori is using in the studio version in the music video. Like that's an ESP E2, and I've looked at that thing and I'm like, I can't drop $2,000 on a guitar, but I would love to. I would love that guitar. It reminds me a lot of my LTD F207, which I have. 30 seconds later. Right here, this baby. I love the jagged Stratocaster look, and the E2 from ESP has a very similar sort of vibe, but it's, you know, it's styled a little bit differently, and I love the look of it, especially like the purplish blue one. Oh my gosh, that is a guitar I've freaked out over. I have a little stupid short over it that I created when I saw it. Anyway, so I love that guitar. I would love to be able to afford it someday. That's on the dreams list. Anyway, I wasn't expecting them, with the build-up after the second chorus, I wasn't expecting them to just suddenly drop out and go to a piano piece. I was expecting it to build straight into the guitar solo, but it didn't. And it completely threw me off. I'm like, oh. And then it was a slow build-up back to the main riff and then the solo. And like the way Miyako is able to transition from playing the guitar to going and playing the piano and then going straight back to playing the guitar, she just does it so seamlessly, so nonchalantly. It's like, I'd be like, oh crap, get this thing out of the way, all right? Like, I can barely play the piano at all, and just to kind of like go from one instrument to the other, completely not freaking out about any of it, just very casually, is pretty impressive. Let's see, another thing I noticed, I said something in the studio, during the studio version, where it sounded like Miyako and Midori were doing the solo like in unison at some points, but the live version kind of dispelled that, it seems. But they did do a lot of handoffs during the solo. Like it would be Midori, then Miyako, each for a little bit of a longer stretch, and then it would be back to Midori for a short stretch, back to Miyako for a short stretch, say that 10 times fast, and then coming together for their harmony, which was like really neat. Just the amount of baton passing, it almost seemed to like feature, quick together, like length to short to together. I don't know, just a little artistic thing I was imagining as I was hearing it. Another thing I noticed too was the background orchestra was a lot more pronounced in the studio version than in the live version. One of the other things too is that the cohesiveness of the piece, of the whole arrangement, like really injects the song with tons of energy and epicness in the studio version. And I feel like in the live version, Asami and Haruna, especially Haruna, were like, you know, responsible for most of the energy, from my perspective anyway. I felt like Haruna was having the most fun. Asami's like trying to get the crowd in, and like, all right, throw your hands up, you know, come on, you know, are you not entertained? You know, all these different ways to try and get the crowd engaged. So I felt like they were really carrying it with the live version. Then one thing I noticed too that I thought was pretty interesting was the rhythm guitar's progression throughout the verse into like the pre-chorus into the chorus. It's like, you know, they've got the dun 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 regular chugging dun 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 dun. Then like for the second half of the verse, it goes to like a gallop dun 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 dun, to like full on tremolo picking a like it's this increasing speed progression, which I thought was pretty fascinating how they structured that. The last note I really have here is how positive and inspiring the lyrics are by Asami, and like in her facial expressions, both in the studio version and in the live version, she's just very expressive, and you can tell she means it when she's singing it. I love that. There wasn't an Asami Sora this time. She seems to like do that in most of the LoveBites tracks that I've checked out, but this time, like, I felt like she was keeping herself fairly tame in this track, rather than going just like, whoa! So anyway, I think I mentioned already, but just kind of want to touch on it again. The amount of fun Haruna is having, like in the live video, where she's like double bass, like, and the way she's just like flipping her drumstick around, like just casually and smiling throughout the whole thing. She was a joy to watch during that live performance. So those are my thoughts on the video. Let me know if there are some things that I missed. There's probably a lot of things that I missed, but things that you thought were pretty notable about each of the performances. If you haven't already, and if you feel so inclined to do so, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications so that you don't miss anything going forward. And if you have any suggestions for guitar covers, vocal covers, shorts, other comparison contrasts like this one, whether it be from LoveBites or another band, just drop it in a comment below. I'll give you a shout out whenever I do that video, like I did to the people at the beginning of this. And also, thank you so much to Jonas S. for supporting me on Patreon. I really, really appreciate all your support for all this time here. It means a lot to me. Thank you. That's all for today. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless you, and rock on.